I think this is probably working. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Crush Improv Plays Dungeons and Dragons. I'm Andrew, joined tonight by Christine, Brooke, Jordan, and Dan. Al can't be with us tonight, but otherwise we are back at it. So, when last we left our intrepid heroes, they had just finished watching a really great play. I'm sure it's an award-winning play. I have since given it a title, The Dreadlord Returns. And we cap that off with it's one of those interactive plays where at the end, all of the actors get involved with the audience, going to go out into the theater, and food and wine is brought in, and a dinner party.
Eddie May.
It's like Eddie May. Except if it was a bit more pornographic, I would say, is the difference.
You haven't been to Eddie May then in a while because it's pretty dirty.
Fair. Well, it certainly enticed Gnorman and Nimralian and Tergar into participating. Mostly because they failed their wisdom save, but largely because it was just so enticing. They just, were drawn into it. They were carried away with the excess, and described a little bit of what that was. I am happy to fade to black on that evening. You guys find a...
I did find it ironic, Andrew, that the two characters and people playing those characters are the least crass of this group, and yet they were forced to partake in these debaucherous activities.
It's true.
Where while, dirty JJ, Joe Jondron Jordan just skipped on free when we all know the weird hedonistic things that he's up to most days. Yes?
Care to comment, Jordan?
Yeah, I was going to say, anything to defend your honor there?
I let my record speak for itself.
Well, so let us pick it up. Well, first of all, I should ask Glonda and Georgiandron, is there anything that you would want to be like? What is your general take on essentially what you're doing while this is happening?
Well, I'm quite stunned, and I think and Glonda and I think are thinking the same thing here, is that we might want to try and dial down Tergar and Nima Raelian's energy level.
Yeah, if we
think the same thing when we made eye contact there, Christine.
Yeah, we gave each other a look. No, not very far off from something like this. And I think in that moment we realized that we need to help Nima and Tergar maybe snap out of it a little bit and get the heck out of Dodge.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay, so is there, to that end, how? Tell me what you want to do to try and make that a reality.
Well, I'll again, with a subtle look, we agree that I'll go and grab Tergar, and Glonda will try and go grab Nima.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And begin with just gabbing, and then move to physical when necessary.
Well, why doesn't our camera focus in on, and I love how you're just letting Gnorman sail to the wind here, because Gnorman's just being Gnorman.
Yeah,
this is not abnormal for Gnormans.
This is not unusual. So let's have our cameras focus in on Tergar and Jojandron. Tergar has set himself up with a flagon of wine and is essentially consuming it, and probably has an audience around, and he's regaling them with some tales. And I imagine Tergar is kind of in an element that he is not usually in. He is not usually the center of attention, and is really enjoying being the center of attention, and also really enjoying this fine wine. So set up that scene for me. This could, oh my God, be
Where
improvised.
are we right now?
You're still in the theater. It has been,
okay.
Tables have been set out. There's all sorts of nice cheeses and charcuterie, and well, basically all the food that's not coming with you on the boat is being chowed down on right now by, well, it's a higher quality of food actually, because the clientele here demand a little better. So yeah, and you're surrounded by There's a couple of actors that are still in costume. There are a lot of there aren't many, but middle income, middle class theater goers, and they are all listening to you hold court and are equally in their cups.
Now, let me tell you, there is nothing much more magical than turning into a wolf. You know, there's a lot of things I can turn into, but a wolf is just magical. It was really the first thing that I turned into in the woods.
Are you
First
taking
time you get
questions, Tergar?
Sure.
How do you feel about yourself right now?
I feel like I'm on fire. I don't mean in a bad way. I mean, just like I feel like full of life, because fire is life, right? Because if you don't have fire, then it's harder to live because you can't cook your meat and then you can get
I understand.
bacterial poisoning.
Tergar, have you ever felt this way before?
Never. Oh, I feel like a new man.
Tergar, I'm going to suggest to you that you've not felt this way before because you don't enjoy this, and this is uncharacteristic behavior.
No, well, this is it. I think I've turned a new leaf over in my life, and I'm here. I'm one of the people.
The people huzzah you as you do
right.
that. They clink your glass. They give you a high five. They give Joe Jondron a side look of, "Hey man, don't kill the buzz."
Tergar, if I suggested that we should leave this place and go back to our hotel, just the two of us, and have a quiet evening, what would you say to that?
Don't be a party kill. All right, just let your brother live a little. Okay, let me experience life like I've never experienced it before.
Okay, I'm going to be back in a few minutes. I'll talk to you later. Okay.
Yeah.
And enjoy yourself. Have fun.
All right. Let me tell you the time I almost killed a hostage.
Our camera swings over to Glonda and Nimralian. Why don't we describe what Nimralian is doing in her debauchery?
I think she's deep in conversation with one of the prostitutes, absolutely curious about her line of work, what it is that she's wearing. She's just fascinated by, like, she's got really beautiful nail art that Nim's never seen, and she wants to know what paints and what minerals might have been used, if they're at all magically, and like she's just fascinated by this woman, and any of the woman's like sexual advances are completely lost on her and literally brushed away, and she just keeps asking like personal questions about her outfit and stuff.
Okay, she is doing her best to answer all of your questions, and in the most probably nuanced way possible, if you get my meaning.
Yeah.
Glondo walks over.
I not just walk over. I'm going to
describe your entrance.
Dance over. Offbeat to the music, trying to fit in, but terribly uncomfortable. So I'm doing one of these as I'm like going up to Nima. I'm like, "Hey, girl."
Yes. Shh. Now, I was just wondering if the gold flecks that were on your nails, is that real gold?
Uh-huh.
Wow, that is fascinating. How do they keep that on your nail? See this, Glonda? Look at this. Look at this woman's nails.
I could take you up and show you how I put them on.
Oh, no, that won't be necessary. Glonda, do you want to go up and get your nails done? I just know I'll go be right in the dirt.
I just have this really cool nail kit already on the boat. So I just figured maybe, when you and I sail off, maybe I could do your nails.
I think I'm going to come with. I think I'm going to stay here. I think there's just so many wonderful people.
Let's not talk like that.
What do you mean? I just feel like this place has all of the people that I've never met. There's so much to learn here. I'm going to need to buy more books so that I can fill them with my new knowledge.
Nima, you can't simply just keep your beautiful big brain here to this one island with this one group of people.
Why not?
We have a world to discover together.
Oh, I don't feel like anything is more important than being here with this woman, Marguerite.
Marguerite, can I talk to you for a second?
But of course.
And then we're going to do a little aside.
Okay.
Marguerite,
There are about 3 other prostitutes would sidle up to Nimmer Alien and show her nails.
Look at these ruffles on your shirt.
Marguerite, if I give you a silver coin, will you stop talking to Nima?
She looks genuinely hurt at this proposition.
What's the matter?
She's like, well, it's my job, don't you know? And I'm sorry, I do make a little more than that.
How much do you make?
Well, between 5 and 10 gold pieces, and then there's gratuity on top of that.
But that's to actually go through with stuff. I'm saying to take your direction to another patron.
She looks at you and she looks over at Nimrali and says, well, I don't know. She's very interested in me. And I'll be honest with you, I haven't seen an elf before. So I'm kind of interested in her.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Marguerite, this one has green nails.
Yes,
Come
I painted
see.
those myself. And she gives Glonda a look like, sorry.
Nima, you have to come with me, quick.
No,
listen. Jojandron's been attacked. There's a bunch of orc guts and stuff outside, and I saw there was a carcasses of different creatures that I've never heard about, and I need you to come investigate it with me.
Oh, that does sound appealing. Orc guts. I do have a bottle of orc guts that I haven't looked at before.
But these ones are purple.
Purple orc guts, that's something I've never heard of before. That seems absolutely fascinating.
At this point, Marguerite turns around and lifts up the back of her shirt and says, "Did I show you my tattoo? It's artfully placed over top of that part on the back, which is really low down.
Small of the back.
The small of the back. Thank you very much."
What's it of?
Yeah, she displays it in all its honor. It's a large dragon. Yeah, it's wings outstretched. It seems to be the result of a lot of work.
Yes, it's a lovely dragon. Dragons.
Yeah, the carcass out there might actually be a very small dragon carcass.
Is there any role for persuasion or?
I'd go with a persuasion at disadvantage if you wanted.
A disadvantage.
For me?
Yeah. Yep.
All right, I'll take your roll.
I'll take your roll. I'll give it a shot.
Oh, I better hop on to.
Oh, I have to do a second one. I forgot.
Yeah.
Oh gosh, that was a mistake.
Oh.
What did I? Oh, I hit 2 that time.
Oh.
Yeah. Well, between all of those, what's your bonus to persuasion?
It's a great question.
Plus 12.
Plus 8.
Plus 8. Well, that's pretty persuasive, but between all of those, there's still one which was bad. So yeah, I think
I wasn't supposed to roll a 3 though.
I'll go with
that
the
extra
10.
Die was not fair.
I'll take the best of those 3, which are still a 10 and a 4, and not the natural 1. So
There was a 10 and a 5.
Well, I rest my
it was
case.
a 4. My mistake.
So I think the persuasion is hampered by the fact that you can see Jojandron across the theater in conversation with Tergar. So it does not look like maybe he has been in a big fight.
I'm like waving and I'm like.
And I run over.
Jojo, I heard that you were dead outside. You seem perfectly alive.
I didn't say he was dead. I was just saying there was a big fight happening outside with a bunch of mythical creatures for you to come and explore with us, right, Jojon? No, Jojon can back me up. Jojo.
Glenda, we're in trouble.
Yeah, because of all the mythical creatures outside who are trying to kill us, and now we have all these guts to examine so that we can learn about their history and how to defeat them. And woo.
How does Jojandron feel about all this talk of lying or wild exaggeration?
I have to be honest with you, Glenda. I don't appreciate deception here. Nima, do you buy this?
No, not at all. I might buy a little moment with this lovely lady and go and get her to get my nails done upstairs, though.
Oh, poor Glenda.
Glenda, can we have an aside here?
Can we? And then I'm
Love
gonna
it.
jump up and I'm gonna
Love
grab Joe John's collar and bring him down to my eyes. Listen here. There's only one way to get these two out of here, and it's by bold-faced lying to them. There's no convincing them. Something's gone wrong.
We may need to use force. I don't really want to use force against Nemeralian, though.
No, she
You have
scares me.
Do you have any spells that you think might be able to maybe incapacitate her for a short period?
Yes and no. I was looking at my spells in my mind, but I can't. I don't know. I could possibly use something if I confirm with the powers beyond if they would work that way.
What's the thing?
Crown of Madness?
So you want to substitute one madness with another madness.
But that one's under my control.
True. Yeah. You could. Oh.
It's just that one needs an attack, and I don't want her to fight me.
Well, I'll give you this one for free. You know, elves are particularly resistant to charms.
Because wisdom. Okay.
No, because elves.
Hmm.
Yeah, her being an elf. Where is that? Fey ancestry. Oh, she got an advantage against being charmed. So you can't put her to sleep with magic, but you could potentially charm her. So yeah, possible.
Mm-hmm. Can you do anything, Jojo?
I was looking at Lesser Restoration, which I can touch a creature in either one disease or and end one disease or one condition afflicting it. And so if they have a condition that's afflicting it that makes them unbalanced like this, but it says the condition can be blinded, deafened, paralyzed, or poisoned. Is that a complete list, Andrew?
It is a complete list, yeah.
I see.
So, and I don't think one of those applies here.
No. So I have nothing I can do.
Okay, I have one more that I'm considering. Powers that be. Have we heard of Bestow Curse?
Oh, that's a goodie. I'd love an explanation on how that's going to help here.
I don't know. Again, it's a wisdom saving throw, so it's probably useless against Numa. But then they're cursed, and I can choose a few, like from a few options, but none of them are really like incapacitating or like, taking control or anything.
Yeah, that'd be pretty aggressive. I'm not sure it would actually.
I don't think it would actually do anything.
Well, I'm not sure. I don't think it would actually do anything to the effect that is affecting them right now.
Yeah. And they're not hurt. Like cure wounds won't do anything.
No. Hit points are their own special thing, and they're not relevant here.
What if I put them both in two tiny Lehman's tiny huts? And then no one can get to them. And then we know they're safe and we leave.
A bold play. I think they can leave the tiny hut though, right?
Yes, but don't they take a hit or something weird that you decided?
I have a question.
Yes.
What is Tergar's level of intoxication at the moment?
I'd say he's about 2 drinks in.
I wasn't that. I was playing it really drunk.
You were playing it pretty drunk, but maybe it's also a fact. I don't know how much of a drinker Tergar actually is. So maybe it hit him pretty hard.
Not enough to be at a disadvantage if we had a duel, for example.
Well, give him time.
What
Yeah.
would a duel do, though?
I would
Cut your head off.
yeah, I would
Solve the problem the old-fashioned way.
injure you and tie you up.
I can't coach you on this because I'm not really here, but
yeah. Well, Glenda,
scary.
Just let them go. Maybe keep an eye on them and see what happens next. If this is someone's plot, then it might be helpful to just follow them and see where it goes rather than try to end it now.
We never asked Norman what he could do.
Norman, he's not around. He has disappeared into another chamber.
Dang it, he's
Conveniently.
doing some weird red
typical
sash business.
Norman. Yeah.
Typical Norman.
So Glenda,
I'll be honest with you, I don't think he has anything that could help here.
Glenda, what if we joined the party, as it were,
Ooh, like we're undercover.
undercover, and just let this go and then wait for the best moment to maybe spring them, or at least see how deep this plot
We can do that.
goes.
But can we stick together? Because I'm scared.
Yeah, I think we should try to bring these two together. Can we have what we invite Nima and her new friend over to Tergar's little section?
Sure. I will say I did try to pay Nima's new friend off to leave her alone. She might bring that up. It would be weird.
Okay.
So just help me.
So Brooke, Marguerite has made an offer to do your nails upstairs. If
I accept.
excellent. So
Well,
Marguerite and Nima are gonna leave
Nima.
the area.
We were gonna go hang out with Tergar. He's having like a
Oh, have a
time.
lovely time. I'm going to go get my nails done.
On us. Come on.
We could do our nails down here.
We're gonna do our nails. It's gonna be so much fun. You're not gonna
Yeah.
believe it.
What? You're doing your nails here?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're gonna do our nails. What? Come on.
Where's your nail polish? Oh, all right. They're doing their nails here, Marguerite. These are my friends. I have
Yeah,
friends,
Marguerite, come on. No one's gonna have fun.
Marguerite.
She looks at you like maybe when she was saying doing her nails, she might have been implying it was something else ultimately.
Hey,
but
we're not shy around here. Whatever you want to do, as long as it's by the Tergar section, I think we'll have fun.
so she looks around, she looks back at Nima and Elena, she goes, "Oh, all right," and she turns to one of her compatriots and says, "Charlotte, could you go upstairs and bring down our costuming supplies? This is about to take an interesting turn." And so Charlotte runs upstairs and comes back with a whole nail painting supply kit.
Oh!
This qualifies as dirty for Crush. So, what color does everybody want their nails done? It is, of course, a glittery color.
Lilac.
And Joe Jondron, what color?
Dealer's choice for me. I'm just here to have a good time.
Yeah, okay. They'll go for an obvious pink for you for sure.
This blue.
Blue. Oh, nice. A lilac blue.
Andrew, can I order a big drink, and then can I use purified food and drink to purify it from alcohol?
Yes, you can.
Okay, I'm gonna do that.
Matt's asking if there's a French tip option. They're not actually manicurists. They are actors. There's a limit to what they can do with their technology.
I'm ready to sit for a whole shellac manicure with the UV light and everything.
So let's just say it is the most suggestive nail painting session you can remember. And like for Joe Jondron, who has been habitually denied because he is technically married, but has never actually consummated his relationship with his God, and is kind of living a life of chastity. It might be, touching a hand and evocatively touching hand might be a lot for him. So I feel like this is an opportunity for him to make a wisdom saving throw.
Oh no. Oh yeah, that'll be good.
Could
He's
be
wisdom,
weird.
right?
I think he's got pretty good wisdom. I might be. No.
Oh.
What's your plus 3? I think we heard you say. All right, so 13. So that barely is safe. So you let's just say that cod piece is very it's chafing. You have to really readjust to find the right comfortable seat where you are right now.
Andrew Alexander.
Oh no. Your cod piece. Yeah. Wow.
Meanwhile, so yeah, you all get your nails painted. And the actor who played the Dreadlord makes an entrance at a little while later to the huzzas of everybody still in the room. And he's got his helmet off and he's got his makeup off, and he reveals himself to be a very tall half elf. And he starts making the rounds. People start shaking his hand, offering him drinks. He's still in the very ornate armor that he was wearing before. but he does not have his prop two-handed sword.
Can I ask a question on behalf of Nimmerlian and I, and as the Brooke and I?
Yep.
How out there, like not out there, how under some influence are we? Like, how in tune are we still with our beliefs and morals and that kind of thing? Like, as we're playing this, like I'm playing it kind of like very out of character right now, as I think Nimmerlian is too. Are we under the influence of something here?
Yes, but it is not so strong you would completely alter your personality. So you wouldn't do anything that you fundamentally wouldn't want to do.
Great.
But you could be easily convinced to do something that you might be on the fence about, for example.
Okay.
Yeah.
In a similar line of questioning, Andrew, I was thinking this earlier, and so you're probably just going to confirm the answer I had in my head. But if I used zone of truth, that guards against deception, but they would have to be intentionally lying. And I think they're in a state of mind where what they're saying they believe to be true, even if it is not true. And so they would not be purposefully deceiving, because even if what they're saying is false, because their state of mind, they believe it to be true.
Situationally, I think it would be what that comes down to, but functionally they just cannot lie. So they couldn't intentionally lie. They would have to try and tell. Well, no, I forget how it works exactly. I think if they're lying.
Right, but I mean, if I ask them, like Tergar, don't you think this is out of character for you? He would say, no, I love it, and he wouldn't be lying because.
You can't speak a deliberate lie.
Yeah.
The irony is I don't think you have ever actually cast this spell, because we talk about it a whole lot and then realize but I'll think about that or whatever. It doesn't actually come up. Yeah. But yeah, they functionally cannot speak a deliberate lie. But that is if they fail a saving throw. If they make it, they can lie. Either way,
But I don't think it would be a deliberate lie.
No.
I am looking forward to one day that this will be put to the test.
Okay. It's not today.
It's okay. So I guess functionally this actor, you don't know who he is, but he starts making the rounds, and eventually he shows up at your gathering. Nail painting is now complete, and Tergar is on his third flagon of wine. Nimmerlian is they've moved on to topics such as working hours and conditions and whether they earn a living wage. From their perspective, they do, absolutely. Not a bad job, but it depends on the clientele, that kind of discussion. And one of the Glendale is now here as well. Of course, Jordan is not with us, but this was the fellow that he's there. So Glendale has made an appearance, and he is also in your he's in your environment right now, and he seems to know the actor, and they start talking, and you overhear him saying, "So, what did you think?" And Glendale says, "Oh, you are amazing, Corcan. You are amazing." Zone of Truth. All right.
What did you really think of the play, Glendale?
Hold on. I'll make a saving throw, because finally, it's happening. What's your spell save?
In fact, what did everyone really think of the play?
I thought it was boring.
I thought it was incredibly racist.
Okay.
It made me angry.
Yeah.
Glendale says, "Oh, I think it was a triumph," but you know that he's lying and that he actually didn't think it was very good.
Okay.
But he's selling it pretty well, and the actor who is there is also seeming to taking it very well. He's intentionally not overhearing comments of boring and racist. But and he says, "Yes, well, one does what one can, It's always a pleasure to act here, and You better make a save for him because he's about to maybe lie. How's he doing there? Oh, I rolled once. Oh, we'll take that first one. He's so he starts to say something, and then he stops and looks a little confused, and he looks around, and then he says, "Well, I do enjoy acting." And it's obviously not what he wanted to say, but he does end up saying that.
Mm. Mhm.
I start nudging Joe John, like,
Is there anything else you wanted to do tonight, or did we want to fade this scene to black?
What do you mean fade the scene to black? Like, do we end up going home, or do we end up staying there until 3 a.m? Like, what do you mean by that?
Functionally, at this point, if we were to exit the scene, you do not end up getting a long rest. You end up sleeping somewhere with, I'm sure, your dignity intact, because again, you wouldn't do anything you didn't want to do. But only Glonda and Ojandron could leave to go get a long rest if they wanted. If they want to sit here and make sure that nothing happens to you, they too would be not able to get a long rest. They'd also be getting a short rest. But yeah, I mean, you can get accommodation pretty much anywhere. You are guests of Lord Rastaran, and he will gladly put you up.
Okay. Well, I think Nim. Well, I don't know. It's tricky because at the beginning I was playing like, I don't care if you guys leave, but then also she is a little bit of an anxiety girl and does like having her people around her. So I think she would be a bit torn if they tried to leave. So I think she would want to convince them to stay.
Okay. Well, I mean, you tell me how you would like this scene to play out ultimately.
Yeah, do you guys just kind of like stay there with us and just kind of keep us safe until we all get a short rest that night somewhere?
Yeah.
or what if we push our luck and say, no, we're leaving. You can come with us.
Well,
You
she
can
would probably just stay with
by
Tergar.
Tergar, you're coming with us.
Tergar, do you want a long rest or a short rest?
Mm.
I'd recommend a long rest, and I'm willing to roll a persuasion for it.
Oh.
Okay.
All right. It'll be at disadvantage though. Not boding well either way.
What's with these rolls?
The second one.
Could it be worse? Well, it doesn't matter. So
Andrew
2
is
plus
playing with the
whatever.
system again.
It is fine. You got a 9 there. That's a solid die roll.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not interested in play that however you want, Tergar, but he's
Look, just let me live a little. I'm letting loose.
All
I'm
right,
letting my inner wolf out. Oh.
Okay. We'll have
and
a
Tergar
start.
turns into a wolf.
And I do. Yeah, exactly.
Everybody goes wild. In
Everybody
the theater
freaks
that this
out
Just
And I let
happens.
people take rides. I'm giving rides around the
Nice.
theater on my back.
Norman is on your back now. You don't know where he came from, but
Yeah.
he's there.
Oh,
Yeah.
great. Good. Oh, funny.
We sniffed him out.
All right. So the night wears thin. Eventually, you don't know what happened to Norman. He probably found himself a nice hidey hole to spend the night. The rest of you find various accommodations and enter a fitful sleep, again, which does not provide you with a long rest. So whatever abilities recharge on that don't happen, but you can take a short rest. And you have fitful dreams that night. For Glonda, they are undefined. It's a vague darkness. It is roiling waves, turbulent seas. The ship is not sailing well. For Tergar, the dream is of a storm on land. It is trees under wind, moving threatening to uproot themselves. A sickening smell of wine gone bad, and he doesn't feel altogether great. For Jojandron, it is a dream of Ilona making him feel very guilty, like he is.
No.
Yeah, he is not living up to something, or he is just that she can't even bear to look at him. And
It was
even
because I put up with Galanda's deception earlier.
and for Nimrilian, it's a dream of sheets of paper flying out of books.
Does she recognize the sheets from her other dream about Grazit?
They are familiar in that way, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So no matter how much you try and close the books, the sheets keep flying away. And it is that panic of, how will I get these sheets back? I don't even know what I've lost.
Right. And if she does recognize that, I think she would, because I'm a lucid dreamer myself.
Mm-hmm.
And if I know that I'm dreaming, I will stop whatever my mind is trying to make me worry about. So if anything, I think she would just stop frantically trying to get the papers.
Could you make an intelligence saving throw for me, please?
That's pretty cool, Brooke. I didn't know that.
Like, you actually for real can do this.
Mhm.
Oh my
That's
god,
a
that's
pretty
so
amazing skill.
awesome.
Okay, and it's an intelligence. She's pretty smart. +9.
Oof, 21, eh?
Mm-hmm.
So with a flutter, all the sheets stop and settle on the ground, and a voice from behind says, "Oh, now why did you spoil all that? I went to great lengths to create that."
Get out of my mind and get off of this island!
And get into my car.
And
she swivels around, but I'm assuming.
yeah, it's a figure that you recognize from your past
Yeah.
dreams. It is the personification of
Grazit.
Grazit. He's got a smirk on his face, his big ass face, because he's 8 feet tall.
What have you done?
I have done nothing that you or your companions or all the people around you would not wish to have.
Oh, you hedonistic demon!
And he gives you a half bow and says, "At your service, milady."
I will not allow you to prevail in my mind. I will find a way to rid this world of you, rather.
Oh, shall you? Shall you indeed? I've already come so far, though.
What do you mean?
You have already willingly allowed me in. I don't think I shall leave.
Oh, I don't like the sound of that at all.
Why? Some
Oh,
of
I
your
don't
friends,
like that.
some of your friends, indeed, more than others. And he, with a wave of his hand, you can see Terragar fades into existence, fitfully sleeping on a bed, and he's making kind of woofing noises as he is doing so. And again, that wafting smell of old wine comes over your way. That one there, such an animalistic instinct. I'm fascinated to see what happens when he loses control.
You lay your dirty, clawed hands off of my companion. I will read every book and find out a way to rid this world of you.
I am excited at the challenge of this. I welcome the moment that we should meet in person.
Oh, that's so... No. No, I'm going to go and fly because that's something I can do in my dreams.
And he nods his head and he says, "Till next time."
It was very Princess Leia-ish of you there.
So funny.
Yes.
And he wafts away, and you again go into your fitful slumber. And you all awake the next morning. You awake to the sound of bells. The clocks there's a big bell that's ringing to announce that it's time for everybody to get up and work, whether they're drunk or hungover or not. It is not appreciated by any of you. It's part of the reason that you don't get a long rest. But you all stumble around for a while, get your stuff together, and make your way down to the bottom floor of the merchant's estate where you have been crashing. And you all hook up. There's a servant there who is more than happy to find something for you to eat, some sort of coffee, maybe tea in these parts. Coffee is very expensive. What would you like to do with your day?
How's Tergar and Emeralian feeling? Are they back to normal?
I feel assaulted. I feel violated, Jojo. Grazit was up to his antics again. Did I act strange at all last night?
Yes, you were extremely strange. Galanda can agree with.
What I tried. Monstrosity is on my. Look at these. Oh, I can't show them to you. Oh, good God.
I tried so hard to snap you out of it.
I feel violated.
I did everything. I looked at you and did this.
And that didn't work?
It didn't work. and then you were talking to this lady and I tried to pay her money to leave you alone. Didn't work. I lied about there being guts outside for you to examine. And
I didn't. This is terrible. And Tergar, are you all right?
My head feels like it's
let's get a
3
constitution
sizes
save
too
out
big.
of Tergar. Let's just see how well he is, in fact. Oh, he's fine.
Okay.
Iron stomach.
Don't even have to add the there we go. My head feels 3 sizes too big, and I too don't remember much of what happened last night. I guess I drank one too many flagons of wine. Please tell me I didn't do anything out of character.
You did turn into a wolf, which is in character, but then you let people ride you around and you ran around the theater, which is a little bit out of character. I've been asking you if I could ride you as a wolf for years, and you always say no.
Tergar, what did you dream of last night?
Well, a storm. Quite the storm. We were on land, and the trees were being uprooted, and then I had the sense of food and drink maybe having gone bad and sour, and well, maybe that was just because of the drinking I did last night, but it's still actually sitting with me a little bit. I feel a darkness has come over me.
In my dream, Grazit was at it again and very much stated he had you under his control, and he was excited to see what you would do without your own wits about you. I'm frightened, everyone. This demon is not to be tampered with. We need to read books on books on books.
No demon or any being has control over me. I have my wits about me still, and let me tell you, if I see this Grazit, I will tear him to pieces with everything I have.
Tergar, you did not have your wits about you.
What?
You were in Grazit's control last night. You were not yourself. We're very lucky that nothing terrible happened. You were just kind of an asshole for a little bit. But beyond that, we were safe.
How was I an asshole? What did list the things I did that was assholey?
Well, he's got 5 things to list you.
Yeah, 5 things that I did that were assholey.
You didn't tip the server.
1.
You forgot the person's name that you were talking to for an hour and a half.
2.
You accidentally knocked over a table and then thought it was fun, so you knocked over a bunch of other tables.
3.
You drank other people's drinks when they were in the bathroom. And you took my javelins.
5. Oh,
5.
Geez, I am so sorry, Jojandra, and I definitely don't remember doing any of those things. Well, I guess I'll have to be. I should go back to the theater and apologize to all the people there.
No, we're getting the hell out of here.
All of our
no,
shipmates.
Polinar.
The crew. They're probably all under a spell too. We're stuck on this island. We're never getting out.
You think our shipmates? You think Polly, what are their names?
Well, there's
Denise St. Clair, Gordon Buloff,
Gordon.
Sally, Dimitri, Mopey, and Dopey.
Right. You think they're under the influence of Grazit too?
We need to get off this island immediately.
I agree with Nimmerlian. Let's
get
get the hell off this island.
Let's get to this ship right away, and then let's
some food for thought as we run away. How come Galanda and I were not affected?
Well, if this is some type of a curse, technically some of it is up to fate, whether or not you are overcome in the moment. Is there any way that we can protect ourselves from a potential charm while we go?
Now, I hate to say it. But
What does that look, Brooke?
That's a look that Christine just showed you earlier. That means, are you getting my drift? Do you understand what I'm asking of you? Will you do the thing? So that's to DM. Is there a way to protect yourself from being charmed?
I have something. Oh my god, I have something.
Chair recognizes Christine Celeste-Glanda.
Hello, this is Christine Sasklada talking about one of my latest additions to my features and traits, Counter Charm. So I can start a performance that lasts until the end of my next turn. I don't know if this has to happen in a battle or not. But me and any friendly creatures within 30 feet of me have advantage on saving throws against being frightened or charmed.
That would very much be a thing.
Mm-hmm. I also have counter spell, but that's different.
That's very much different. That is when somebody casts a spell, you can react and say nope. That's your nope card.
That's my nope.
Can we debrief for a moment here?
Absolutely can.
Are we having coffee and croissants?
Yep. There's definitely time for
Okay,
that.
this is a good time, I think, to debrief. When do we think that the charm started?
Well, when did we begin acting strange?
No, you tell us.
After the play.
Right after the play, after a play that involved Thrazin.
I'll be honest with you. Everything after the play is very hazy. I don't really remember much.
Do you remember that the play was incredibly racist?
I remember hating the play, but let's just be honest. I hate all plays. I really don't care for them. Too long.
We had a dream of Thrazin.
I'm Thrazim.
What's his name?
I wasn't dreaming of
Grazit.
Glanda.
Grazit? Yeah.
Were you
Grazit.
dreaming of me again?
Oh,
Yes.
okay. I knew that name came from somewhere.
You know, just
We had a dream about him a while back, didn't we?
yes, we
Yes.
did.
did.
What was the context of that?
He
We're all-
was
We all had
bas-
separate. We all had different dreams.
but
for
I was
starters.
able to see him and recognize that he was attempting to charm all of you and to get you all, and
Right,
he was
but
excited
where-
that he was
where
going
were
to.
we? What was the situation?
I think you were still back in Saltmarsh.
Yes.
So it's not related to Polinar.
No. But he
Nope.
says that we're already in his grasp. He said he's already in our minds.
Yeah, Graspin. So I don't think leaving here will help.
No,
Except us being charmed by him, or presumably him, happened for the first time on this island.
I would say that we are in a place that is allied with him. We're not safe here.
Yeah,
I
you're probably
agree.
right with that.
And everyone at that theater was very much either willingly under his spell. They're followers of Grazit. We're on the island of the followers of Grazit. They're all hedonists. This has been foretold.
How many
I-
times I gotta say this? Let's get the heck out of
Yeah,
Dodge.
let's collect
We
the
are,
crew.
we are on the
Let's go.
island of the followers of Grazit right now.
We need to get out now.
leave.
Yeah, we got to get Rolly. We got to get Polly.
No, it's Mopey and Dopey.
We got to get Mopey. We got to get
Get
Dopey.
them too.
We got to get our captain. So
We got to get the whole gang. Let's go.
wait,
What?
let's finish our coffee. And
Okay,
croissant.
yeah, let's do that.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. One other thing I wanted to remind everybody
Hmm.
is that Grazit carries a great sword, and I had a very terrible dream that Jojon, you kill Tergar with this sword, and we're getting closer and closer to that potentially happening. If he
With
charms
what?
you. No, with his own, he has an acid greatsword, and you, oh gosh, this is going
Okay.
so
Thank you for
badly.
telling me. I'll make sure I won't do that.
Okay, all right,
Yes, and I'll try to make sure that
Good.
he doesn't kill me.
okay.
You guys
they're
really
both
contribute a lot here.
Promises made, promises kept.
And Joe John and I pinky swear on this. Yeah.
Oh, there's a moment. Can you do that in a Arnold Schwarzenegger, Carl Weathers, Predator style class?
Oh, I thought you were going to say Carl Weathers.
Sylvester Stallone.
in Rocky. Is it Rocky 3 where they dance?
Rocky 3 at the very end, and then
they dance
at the same time.
in the shore and in the
Yeah.
waves and they
Yes.
dance.
Yeah.
That's also pretty good, but that wasn't what I
gonna-
had in mind.
I'm going
Like
to admit
this.
I've never seen any of the films.
Oh, you should watch
Oh,
Rocky
Andre,
1.
I know, but Andre
You-
promised we'll do a whole.
A
Those are
marathon.
Those
A
are my
meme
favorite
marathon?
movies. Those are
They're
my
fun.
favorites.
They're good,
Excellent.
especially the first
Watch
one's great.
As you're having your coffee refilled, the servant who attends the manor here says, "Excellent. So, were you planning on attending the event this morning?"
What event? Shoot.
Oh, the execution, of course.
Oh no.
Ooh.
Of
I hear they caught 4 from last night. It should be quite the event.
What? Who are they killing?
Oh, I don't know. That isn't announced until the day, but all the rumor is that there were 4.
4.
Hmm.
God, I hope Mopey and Dopey are okay.
There are 4.
Where does this
Get
execution
off this
occur? The
island
main square?
of meat.
Oh no, at the docks, of course. They are sent to the sharks.
Oh, that.
Well, we're going to definitely attend that, and as we head out of this godforsaken hellhole.
This place is scary.
May I ask you a question?
Yes, of course, ma'am.
Are you a willing follower of Grazit?
Of who?
Zone of truth.
All right, 3rd level spell. Mark it off. Or is it 2nd? I think.
It's an oath spell.
Yeah, but these still count though. You gotta check them
No,
off.
it's always.
No, my friend. Those are you can't just willy nilly cast Zone of Truth all the time. That's a powerful
No,
spell.
How
Oh,
often does he get to?
You've got 2 spell. You got 2 2nd level spell slots. So you can do it twice a day if you want it.
Oh, twice a day. Okay, good.
Then you wouldn't
we
have
had
any-
because we had a short rest, I still only have.
That's right, because you would regain your spell slots on a long rest.
Okay, but I think this is worth it.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
sure.
you
Fire away.
cast your Zone of Truth. What's your spell save DC? It should be on that same page at the top.
My spell save DC, which is at the same
Where all the spells are.
top, is.
We all do it too, eh? At least I do.
Jordan does it the best though.
I know.
As we all know.
Where am I looking?
Okay,
my
top of page 2 of your
There's
sheet
a
there.
second page.
It's where all your spells are.
Oh,
How has this page been missing from you the whole time?
it's 7.
7? Okay, so no, that's not your spell save DC. 'cause
Look, so you have all your spells, and there's a gray
50,
box
right there.
that says
Oh,
Where I-
15.
15. There you go. That's the number I got to beat on my 20-sider. He has no bonus to this. Yeah, he totally blows that. And he looks at you and he says, no, the following of gods is not very prominent here. I don't really follow any of them.
But Grazit is a hedonistic god of pleasure, and everyone here seems to be quite hedonistic, at least those that were at the theater last night. Do you have any information on that?
He says, well, we're in the midst of a large festival. I'm surprised that anybody is sober at all. And as for there being a god of hedonistic pleasure, well, I suppose everyone has their thing. It's not for me personally. I have to get up very early in the morning to get prepared for, these sort of activities. I might have something on the weekend just to let loose a little bit, but no.
Nim brushes past him. All right, it's time to go. He's useless.
And he's not been lying at all there, Joe John John.
Okay.
Noted.
That's good to know. That's still useful to know that not everyone is a disciple. It's not like some weird, creepy get out type situation.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? Where everyone's in on it except for, yeah. Okay, good.
He turns to Tergar and puts a dagger through your heart. Moves on.
Okay, well, and that was fun, guys. Good luck on the rest of the
Yeah, thank
campaign.
you.
Yeah, good. Yeah.
I will remember you.
All right, so what do we want to do for 5 before our break, or do we want to take our break now? Maybe that's
Yeah, let's
okay.
take the break now. That's
Yeah,
a natural.
A good little chapter stop.
Yeah.
Yes, Matt is saying that it was anticlimactic that you didn't get the big reveal. Alas.
Big reveal.
All right, let's do our intermission, and we'll see you all back in 5 minutes now. Bye. And then we're clear. So,
Okay, now
5
I'm going to try and see if I can turn this thing off. It seems like, okay, if I go to video filters and say none, No. Okay. Why is there no option to turn off my background?
I think if you click it again, it'll turn it off.
Oh, okay.
I could be wrong.
Or just do this. No, I don't want that. Deletes it. I don't want to delete it. Okay, let's do that.
Oh, you're hearing
Delete
us now? That's hilarious.
Is he hearing us?
Yeah, I don't usually stream it, so of course he's.
Oh, we're
hearing
still
all our
on?
stuff. Yeah, he's hearing us talk about him.
Oh, it's exciting.
Now, we're back 3 seconds early so that we can have Olive be our muted. We're back 3 seconds early so that Olive can give us a star appearance here. Oh, what a cutie!
Hi, Dan.
Hello.
Dan, it's my.
There we go.
She muted me.
Aldi's excited to be on TV.
She's not. Here, sit on my
Oh
chair.
my God, what happened to the back of your chair?
All
I
have
pushed
happened.
it down, so it wouldn't show in the screen. Hi, Olive.
Oh, that's smart.
Hi, Olive.
I love your background, Dan. That's so appropriate.
Yeah.
There she is.
Oh my goodness. Look how big she is.
She's getting wily.
Oh, no way. She's already so much bigger.
No, she's crazy. She's so crazy.
Look at
what a
her
big
eyes. On those
girl.
eyes.
Look at that
What
snoot.
is going on, Mom?
Got her own snoot to deal
Mom,
with.
what is
Yeah.
happening?
Big.
How is she with other doggies now?
She loves other dogs. She's obsessed with other dogs. Oh my
It's huge.
god.
All right. So I'm guessing Jordan's going to be back momentarily. So let's dive right back in. So
My mouth somehow. Okay.
I imagine you finished your coffee, your breakfast. You're all ready to head out. What do you want to do?
What time is this execution at?
Yeah.
Noon.
What time is
Oh.
it now?
It's 11 o'clock.
Well, let's
So
head
we-
to the boat. Let's head to the boat and find
So
out.
let's
Let's
see if
make sure the
maybe
crew
he's
is
missing.
ready to go. What I'm concerned at is that the 4 people that are about to be executed are from our crew.
Mhm.
So let's go and make sure that, because if they're not from our crew, let's just get out.
Okay. So you
Now,
make
now that you said that, I'm just gonna make sure they're from our crew so that
All
we
of them
can
from
see
your
more
crew, yeah,
weird
exactly.
stuff.
so you make your way back through the estates and into the anyway, you make your way back to the docks. Your ship is still there. It hasn't burned down over the night. So you let half of the crew go, and some of them you left on board to
Yeah.
watch over your the person that you rescued at sea.
Yeah.
But there are probably about 10 of your crew that did have shore leave, including Salwes and all of the bridge crew. But Salwes was pretty intent on having his crew back on the next day. So when you arrive, he is there. You take a head count, and there are stevedores loading up food and water on board your ship for your journey. So that is underway. It's quickly reported to you that they are almost done. A sizable crowd has gathered at one of the docks where 4 gibbets have been erected. There are 8 that still have half-eaten corpses slowly rotting from the previous execution, which you learn was 2 days ago. And everybody seems to be excited for what's going to happen next. The professionals that maintain the gibbets are intently going about their work. There is a small pool of fins circling nearby one of the gibbets, and occasionally a fish is tossed into them to get them nice and riled up. They know apparently what is happening as much as the audience here does as well. So you take a head count, and everybody's accounted for except for Moby.
Oh.
Mopey.
Who was the last one to see Mopey?
Probably
Looking
Dopey.
at you.
Dopey raises his hand and
Dopey.
says, "Yes,
Where's Mopey?
we was playing a game in one of the taverns, and well, it was a bit of an incident, you know. I think they took him."
Did he cheat?
Zone of truth. No,
Did
just
he
kidding.
cheat?
No, we wouldn't cheat here. No, that's illegal, don't you know?
Well, that's what I'm worried about. If they think that he did something, he could be one of the people being shark eaten today.
Yeah, well, it was a bit of a fight. I don't think it ended well. I ran out. I
Blonda,
would've-
maybe you need to go talk to your buddy there.
Which bud? They're all my
The that guy you were talking to here that you made a deal with.
Also,
Deal-
nobody is to leave this ship. We're on lockdown, and there's no leaving this ship at this point. until Mopey
Sounds
is
like-
back on board. But if we see Mopey's being fed to the sharks, I say we cut and run.
Except us, we're allowed to leave the ship.
No.
So then I can't go speak to my friend.
I'll bring. Oh, just don't.
No, that's fine. I'm scared.
How about we all go together? No one's
No!
allowed to leave the ship without everybody leaving the ship.
I've got Petrie. We can throw Petrie somewhere.
Solus comes over to you, by the way, and your edict not to leave the ship, and he says, just so you know, only half of the crew got any kind of shore leave.
Yes, well, we're going
Yeah.
to let them get shore leave somewhere else, Solus, because this place is literally being covered by a demon, and we have to leave.
He gives you a look like, all right, but just so you know, there might be some kind of consequences later for this.
We'll pay.
What do you
we'll
mean
give
by
them a
that?
bonus.
Are you threatening me?
I'm not threatening. I'm just telling you how it is.
And control your
What do you mean?
crew, Selwis.
Solus, can you tell us if there's a good place to have a shore leave nearby?
He looks around and he says, define good.
Better than
Anywhere-
here?
Better than here.
He says, yeah, salt marsh. He says, Cyberit's the next one over. It's about 100 miles further, and it's smaller than this lot. They'll have their taverns, they'll have their brothels, it'd be all right, but it's as fair as ways away.
How long a trip?
Well, funny you should ask. It's almost like I have to consult a chart for that, if you'll give me a moment. At that point, there's a bit of a flourish as somebody in great costume, a herald of sorts, arrives on the scene. Wait, I can tell you exactly how long it would take to get to Cyber. It's 140 miles, about 20 miles a day. It'd be about a week's travel if we went right there. So he comes up with a flourish and he opens up a scroll and he says, Gentlemen and ladies, well, at least a couple of you, good day, and hope you're enjoying the festival of the sea, courtesy of Lord Rodruga. I hope you have all enjoyed the waiver on taxes and have had a few drinks on his lord's behalf. There's a big rousing cheer. But I know what you're all here for today. We're here to see a good old-fashioned execution. Ah! And we've got 4 for you today. And who shall they be? Whoosh, opens up a scroll. Well, there's a bit of a surprise there, isn't there? And all the crowd goes, boo! They want to know who it is exactly. This is all right, but I'll give you a hint. We've got a farmer, a miner, a sailor, and a merchant's agent. And the crowd goes wild at the idea of a merchant's agent. Somebody beside you says, merchant's agent? Why, they're the uppity class. They never get in trouble. To see one of them sent to the sharks? Oh, this'll be a day I'll tell my children about.
Those are the people that were the protagonists of the play last night.
Really?
Yes, a merchant's agent, a sailor, and a farmer and a miner are the play's protagonists.
Holy rat's ass.
Excuse you?
So refresh your beverages, get yourself a snack, get the hat on your children, and we'll be back at it in 15 minutes.
We see Moby or Dope. Which one was it? Mopey?
One of them's a
Mopey.
sailor, so
I didn't figure that this play would have anything to do with our night tonight. Our game.
you should have been watching more intently.
What are you talking
Yeah.
about? Andrew sent us the email explaining the play before the game tonight. In a way of saying, remember this, which was clearly foreshadowing something?
Yes.
Can I?
Fair.
Let's
Good point.
convene quickly here. If Mopey's there, are we comfortable with allowing Mopey to just be executed? I don't feel good with this.
No, I just meant that we wouldn't be able to save him, not that we were okay with
Well,
it.
this
but
is what I
didn't.
Yeah, that's what I'm wondering is if we can stop it. We don't necessarily have to stop the townspeople. We just need to subdue the sharks somehow,
Mm.
and then get him out of that cage and get the hell out of here and get Solus on board with a quick, speedy escape.
By the way, it's not a cage. They're literally just tied
gibbet.
around the wrists.
Oh, I thought they were in the gibbet.
I've been saying the word gibbet, but really it's more just a cantilever. That's a big pole, and they were tied up here, and then they're levered like a fishing pole. They're lowered into the sea.
Mm-hmm.
So the crowd murmurs a lot. There's a lot of hoots and hollers, and they go off to get drinks. And Nimralian recognizes, she sees somebody sort of waving at her. It's the urchin from the bar last night who wanted to get her into the lucrative trade of human trafficking.
Mm-hmm.
And he's trying to get her attention because he's being prevented from going on your boat. Because you gave a pretty strict instruction not to let people leave, and presumably that applies both ways.
Urchin, what are you doing here?
Begging me lady's pardon, I was just following up on our conversation last night, and just wondering if there's room on your vessel for 3 fine, strapping young men who would be a good asset to your crew. Do anything you need, really.
Or else you'll kill them.
No, I'm sure they'd find a good home somewhere else, but as I said, pressing need and all that, this is a bargain of a deal. Excellent opportunity for you, for sure.
Group huddle? I would like to burn him and his home down to the ground, and I'm just wondering who might be interested in joining me.
Sure.
Nima, I'm afraid we have other fish to fry right now, I think.
Human trafficking is pretty much the only thing that matters at this point.
I'll do it.
Excellent. So we'll go back with him and set his entire place ablaze.
Can I just kill him?
Well, we'd have to do that in secret, or else you could be executed.
Nah, I'll fight.
Point of order for Joe Jondron. This is, maybe against some kind of code, just say.
Yes.
Is human trafficking against a code, Andrew Alexander?
Entirely. I'm just saying honorable combat and all that.
No, I agree.
Secret slaying maybe flies in the face.
Focus on the purpose of our mission right now, and not to. So first of all, we need to focus on our mission.
Well, this urchin has brought forth 3 slaves that I may purchase, and I am not one to purchase slaves, Joe Jondron.
I think all we can do is tell him that as explicitly as we can, that we're not interested in his services, that he ought to stop his engagement and to get the hell out of here before we.
That's not going to save those 3 lives.
Well,
I don't agree.
Well, if you guys want to do a side mission, I feel like now.
I have another idea. Why don't we offer him to bring the slaves to the ship? We take them onto the ship, and then right as we're departing, and we don't pay them, and we free the slaves. So they become free. They're free. We free them.
And just throw him overboard?
Or just leave them at the dock. What are they going to pursue us?
I'm also just concerned that he's currently running a slave trade in general,
You
and
can
that
come
this
back
is
out another time and
merely a
and
drop
get
in
'em.
the bucket of
It would be.
a massive human rights violation
I don't see how we get out of this.
in a flaming pit of, well, point of order. I don't want to ignore human trafficking in a game. Point of order, I don't think I could be like, ha, 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 and individuals lesser than us are being used against their. So either we say that we go and do something that's off screen that, and we roll for it and we kind of take care of that, or we go down that route, because I it's twice now that it's been brought up, and I'm not going to just be like, yeah, well, let's just ignore it for now.
Do we have the sense that he has some sort of base of operations on Polinar?
Yes, he did say he had one,
And
and
do
that we
we
were
get
to
the
go and
sense
visit
that
him.
he's the main guy of human trafficking in this
It's the
town?
whole place.
He didn't elaborate on his role in whatever organization there is. Joe Jondron would probably be aware, given his status, that slavery is quite prominent in the holds of the Sea Princes. It is one of the core differences between Keoland and the holds. Well, not just Keoland, but most of the mainland
Which
you
is
know,
which? Sorry, like Keelans and Holds is mentioned in
Salt
the
Marsh.
play as well.
Keelan's is Saltmarsh.
yes, Saltmarsh is a town within the larger country of Keeland, and the country to the south of Keeland is referred to as the Holds of the Sea
And that's
Princess.
where Ponyard is?
And that's where Ponyard is.
Okay.
There is probably the largest market of slaves held in Monmerg, which is also the capital of the Holds, but all of the outposts within the Holds would probably be some way party to it.
This does have a very Game of Thrones feel to it, right? With Daenerys Targaryen, like where there's some really bad stuff happening in this area.
Spoilers.
But also some good stuff, viewers, in case anybody hasn't, watched Game of Thrones and going to. Yeah.
No, but I just mean it is a moral dilemma, right? It's we've got our main mission, but we also
But like I said, as Brooke, I'm not interested in ignoring.
I'm not even worrying about I'm not saying even my character. Like my character is driven by protecting those who can't protect themselves.
Very good point.
And so this is it. This is everything that motivates Terragar to do all the feats that he does. It's trying to protect these type of people. So that's where I'm siding kind of with you on that. At the same time, we have to be tactical about this. Yeah,
Nim is not a confrontational person. She's not persuasive. She's prisoner. Not. Yeah. So that's why it's like not necessarily in Nim's character. She's a bit of a weakish person and she might just let it slide. But I'm not cool with it.
Nima, could I do an intimidation on this guy and try to threaten him that we are willing to engage to end his career? Or do you want to actually just go ahead and do that?
Well, that would be showing our hand.
But that is our hand to show. We're not going to. Would you rather sneak up in the middle of the night and try to free everybody and burn his place down, or do you want to just?
Yes, I think I would prefer that option.
Okay, so why don't we do that then? We'll wait till the middle of the night.
And by we, you mean you, or do you want to engage in this as well?
How many individuals do you have in your service?
You're interested in more than just the three?
I'm asking a question, and I'd like you to answer it.
Oh, well, I mean, this is highly irregular, milady, because normally we'd be sending them off to Monmerg for proper processing. But I would say we could probably allow for at least a dozen for immediate.
But you need to bring them to Monmerg?
Well, yes, that is the authorized port of sale.
We're going to Monmerg.
Oh, indeed.
Why don't you just give them to us and we'll drop them off on the way?
Are you suggesting you'd be interested in being to trade some cargo services?
Absolutely. What do you think, Nima?
Sure. Yes.
I'd have to speak to my lord about this. It's a little irregular, but well, and to be honest, we have our usual ships that we trade with, and we've only just met. You see, this one particular engagement, the three that we have on offer, is a little bit irregular, if you want to take my meaning. But it is legal. We could eagerly engage in this trade. Not entirely sure. I'd let you make a persuasion roll, Jordan, if you wanted to press the point.
Sure. I just thought it might be a good way to steal them and then release them somewhere. If that's an easier way of doing it, Brooke.
Well, it is good to burn it from the inside out, is my only thought, is that this is only going to technically save 15 or whatever people, whereas there's a massive slave trade going on.
I will say this. Getting rid of this guy is not going to end the slave trade.
Yeah.
It will feel good.
We're in a bad place.
Yeah.
And
we're in a not a power position.
Yeah, in the very least, we could save the folks on this island.
That's what I would like to do. Is I'd like to try and save as many of these poor souls as possible.
As far as your persuasion goes, I think you're pretty good at it, eh, Jordan?
Yeah, 20.
20. So yeah, he says, well, I could definitely put in a good word with my lord if you're truly interested in engaging in a cargo charter. I would have to inspect your ship to see that your facilities are up to snuff, but failing that, well, you being a very upstanding sort, we'd be honored, I'm sure. And then there was silence. All right, he scuttles off to talk to his lord then. With time having passed, the crowd is starting to make noise about the fact that there aren't executions happening. Thank you very much, and could we please get on that? And so the herald comes back and he says, ladies and gentlemen, are you ready? And the crowd goes wild. And sharks obligingly jump out of the water at some very tantalizingly held half fish. And he says, are you ready for your first? And the crowd goes wild, and they bring out the first one, who says, this minor Margatan has been found guilty of murder. And the crowd goes, ooh.
Do I recognize them?
No. This is some scummy human you've never seen before.
Cool.
And he looks particularly downtrodden as he is let out in irons. And they immediately start strapping him to the device, which is going to lower him in. And the herald goes on to describe how there was a bar fight that went bad. And normally these kind of things are settled with fists, but Margatan decided to settle it with a knife. And the crowd goes, woo. And he says, and now, Lord Robiga, do you wish to offer clemency in this case? And all eyes turn to a large tower, which has been conspicuously unnoticed, but you see that, in fact, there's a well-dressed, quite portly figure in there, and he's being fanned by, you would guess, some indentured laborers. And he has a few attendants around him and lots of armed guards as well. And he takes full advantage of the scene to let the drama pass over him. And he does a dismissive wave. And the crowd goes wild at this as they slowly lower Margatan, who is flailing a bit and resisting and trying to sort of proclaim his innocence and how this shouldn't happen. And it's pretty revolting because the crowd eats it up. I'm sure that it's not anything anybody would want, but it, for their perspective, it's the best TV you could watch. And after it happens all too quickly, that he is then raised, he's been chewed up beyond his life, and he is left to dangle. And the crowd applauds wildly at this. This is clearly not your average afternoon's entertainment. And he then yells at the crowd, are you ready for your next? And the crowd, of course, yells, yes. And he says, a sailor named Mopey. And Mopey is brought out looking very much with a hangdog expression.
All right. We immediately, like, I don't know, look to the Lord and go, like, that's what it, like, we will, yeah. Mm-hmm.
How far away is this Lord from us?
Oh, he's maybe about 30 feet.
Okay, so he's very much within our striking distance.
He is actually watching you as you are watching him. So when you turn to cast your eyes his way, he's looking over at you and sort of giving you a glance of, what are you going to do?
We're going to, we're appeal to him, and yeah, we would. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so the herald is going on and on about how this Mopey, a foreigner to our lands, murdered one of our honest men during a game of all things. And Mopey is trying to sort of stutter out how this is all made up and he wasn't involved, it wasn't him, he didn't cheat, didn't do nothing. And then the herald eventually turns over to the Lord and says, Lord Rodriga, your word, sir. And he looks over to you and he gives you a glance like, Well, the crowd is hushed.
Who's going to speak? I'm not the best one at it. Like the
Well,
character.
what does this captain say? Well, I guess we hired this guy, right?
He's
Yeah,
part
he's
of your
ours.
crew, yeah.
Yeah.
Salwa says, that's a hell of a way to go.
Jesus.
I'll speak.
Okay.
What's it? Lord, we demand that you release our sailor back to us without a fair trial. It's not right that you take this man's life. He is ours and a needed and valued member of our crew. Return him to us, and we will depart your shores immediately, never to be seen again.
Okay.
However,
by the way, the crowd started to titter a bit when you said fair trial.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
However, and this is Terragar. This is not Dan. However, if you fail to return him to us, you will meet our full wrath. And as some of you maybe heard in the theater last night, I've got a whole bunch of wrath that I can deliver.
You got intimidation there, Dan?
I do, but it's really shitty.
I can intimidate on his behalf. He's right, you know.
Yeah, there you go. Yes,
all
there
right.
you go. Do it.
I'll
do
let you do it at
Yeah.
advantage because Jordan is there looking very imposing.
I'm bad with my words. I'm good with my action. But JoJo's.
So you can roll. You can roll
Silver
2 and take
tongue.
the best one. Oh, everyone's on tenterhooks. Did you roll? I didn't see it. Danny boy, are you rolling?
Is it me rolling? I thought
Yes.
it was JoJo that's
No,
rolling.
you're the one who's rolling. She's
Oh, well,
helping you.
that's the delay.
Yes.
I thought JoJo was making the threat. I'm doing 2 rolls.
Yeah, you're going to roll twice and take the best one. You're rolling at advantage because you're being helped by Jordan.
Oh, I
yeah.
see. Now I understand. Okay.
Yeah, but you add or subtract your roll, whatever that is.
So 11. That's not very good because it's -2, I think, my intimidation. So 9.
That's a 9. Okay.
Yeah.
He looked like he was interested, and sort of taken a little bit aback by your words, but once you started getting into threats, his eyes furrow a bit, like, you don't want to threaten me is kind of the avenue he's going to take.
One of you want to threaten him?
Nim can throw some fireballs around, but that's just going to cause a lot of havoc.
I can also cast fog cloud right now on the area where the execution's about to happen. And then we could run in with a daring because I don't know where this is happening on the map, Andrew.
Fog cloud is an interesting one.
Can Dopey make an emotional appeal?
Dopey doesn't have it in him. He's he has not got the skill set for an emotional appeal. So let me see.
I don't know that this is set up for a fight here. This map.
No, not at all. It's just
Can
situational.
I
So
threaten
theater of the
them with
mind.
my stone cunning ability?
I would love to hear you explain how that happens.
You call this a threat? Why, the rocks near the dock? I'll tell you something about them. Weak. I don't know.
I feel like there's a better time for stone cunning. I don't know if it's the
Okay.
appropriate.
I didn't have anything else.
Yeah, fair.
So this lord is 30 feet from us. How far is Dopey?
So they are further. So your ship is docked at the end of this long
Yes.
pier, and the action is at the sort of shore's end of the pier. And the
By our pier?
Yeah. So
So not far.
no, not too far from you. Actually, this is why you got a ringside seat to what's happening.
Okay. So if I were to cast, but then we'd have to hightail it. So if I were to cast fog cloud,
One thing you know about these boats is that they take a long time to go.
yeah, they're not, and it's not
and
ready
then-
to go.
Yeah. Like there are actually still guys coming on board your ship and bringing packages of rations on board. They may have stopped actually during this threatening exchange, thinking, well, I'm not going to get in the middle of this.
What do you guys want to do?
I don't know.
You want to let him be?
No.
No.
Good. Okay.
Is there who's lowering them down into the shark pit?
There are
a
a
guy?
pair of black hooded men with strong arms, and there are a number of armed guards on either, sort of flanking all throughout the pier, actually.
And
Sometimes
who's in
things
charge
get out of
here?
hand. Sorry?
Who's in charge?
So there's a herald who's kind of the master of ceremonies,
Yeah.
but everyone's kind of responding to, they're looking to Lord Robiga for direction as to whether this goes ahead with this guy or not.
And
If
so
I-
we asked for a fair trial, and everyone just booed. And
No, they laughed because it's not fair trials.
The democracy, rule of law may not really apply in this particular burg.
fair trial. What happens if I cast Wind Wall right at the point where the executioners and all the guards and all that are? Because I'm assuming it's a line, like they're on the coast. The Dopey would be attached to this cantilever, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, so he's not going anywhere. If I cast Wind Wall and create a wall,
Well,
cutting him off from everyone else.
They are also the two guys in hoods are the ones keeping him out of the water.
Dan, can you turn into a shark?
Not yet.
Rats.
The only fighting aquatic animal I can turn into is a crocodile.
and you can't soothe the animals.
I do not have I don't have that.
The friend
No.
one, the one you can.
What about- yeah.
I don't have animal friendship
Mm.
prepared. Good idea, but I don't have it prepared.
Well, I think we're just kind of screwed here then.
Or I think we our choices are let it happen or use a show of force, but we have to
Yeah.
be prepared to,
I'll give you another one because you're obviously uncomfortable with what's going on here. Lord Robiga says, I understand you feel so passionately about your man. The laws of the sea are very strong and the bonds even stronger. How much is your man worth to you? Clemency can be purchased. Everything on Poniard can be purchased.
But we have this platinum bullion that you're
No.
not bullion. Everything can be purchased.
Name your price, Lord.
Money.
Herald, what kind of sailor is this man? And the herald looks at him and says, To be fair, my lord, he appears to have the marks of a man who has been at sea. Looks like a skilled laborer. I'd say, despite the fact that he ended up here, he seems to have some wits. I'd wager he is a very competent man, well worth his trade. Says, Any ship would be lucky to have him then, would they? Would you be lucky to have him?
He's mopey. He's not.
In fact, he's rather unskilled. He's one of our learned. He's learning, but he is very low skilled. Still, we love him dearly, like a
Dearly.
family member, and would like him back.
And not
regardless.
just us. Dopey, why don't you tell these kind folks how you feel about your friend Mopey?
Dopey looks like, oh, what? Public
That's not good at
speaking?
public speaking.
You're putting me in the middle of this? He literally says, he looks at all these people who are expecting some great mark of oration, and he ends up saying, he's fine.
You hear that?
Says, so Lord Robiga says, I think an offering to the city, what do you people think is a fair price? And there are catcalls of all sorts of numbers. They egg each other on like that number's not high enough. No, that number should be higher. And eventually the crowd settles on 500 gold pieces.
Okay.
How many gold pieces would it take for you guys all to just clean up your act here?
Oh, there's not enough gold for that cleanliness.
Okay.
Come
Well, I
on,
think
Reek.
we can each chip in 100 gold pieces each, and
Yeah,
get-
I
Yeah.
can do it.
Done.
Now, this is some kind of monkey paw thing. Are you going to steal Dopey after this? I'm on the hook.
Well, I don't know. How much money do you guys got? At
I,
this
I,
rate,
I've my 100's gone,
My 100 is gone too.
Okay.
I also
Everybody
got rid
ponied
of
up?
my 100.
and we'll
All right.
steal 100 from Gnorman.
I have marked it off. He actually has that. So you pony up the money, and a tearful Mopey is released from the contraption that he's in and brought to you. Your bag of money is exchanged. The herald says with a flourish, "Pleasure doing business with you," and the crowd goes wild. Mopey is returned to you.
Okay, I think we should just leave. And not watch the other 2 executions.
No.
And not get
Well,
any
we-
more of the
Let's get
material on
out
the
of-
ship. I don't care. I'm done.
This is not a nice place. Okay, so yeah, they continue as you give the word to Salwas, and he looks at you and says, "Gladly." And he says, "Gents, under sail." And there's even a stevedore is coming up with another pack of rations, and Salwas looks at him and says, "We're done." And
At least we
the
got
ship-
Solus on board. I like him.
So he is, yeah, the ship is slowly prodded off and turned around, and you catch the first wind, and it takes you away. So
Where are we going? And what are we? We're not doing anything with the slaves.
We'll talk about that later.
Okay.
I'm gonna put my arm around Mopey.
Who's sobbing marvelously, by the way, at his being saved from this sinister fate. He is blabbing that I didn't do nothing. They took me away. They made it happen. I didn't kill
I
anybody.
put my arm around Mopey and I turn to the rest of the crew, and I look at my friends, and then I look at the crew and I go, "No man left behind."
Should I use this opportunity to try and convince Mopey that it was Alana that saved him, and that only by repenting to making her his
love
true
it.
God will he live a life of
But
salvation?
wait, before you did that, Andrew, you seemed like the crew had a reaction to what
Oh yeah.
Christine just said.
Well, they just saw you pay 500 gold pieces for one of your own. So everybody, there was some mutterings about not going on for shore leave. The instant that money changed hands, there was a sort of a gasp among your crew, and they're giving you that nod from peer to peer, like one of us now. Yeah. When Glonda throws in the "no man left behind," yeah, you've got them in the palm of your hand. These guys are
All right.
gonna work
Now,
for you.
are they aware that "No Man Left Behind" is the title of Blonda's lead single?
That's right. I'm just out there collecting them.
How does
Got
that
records
song
to
go?
sell.
Either Jordan or Christine. Do you remember how it goes?
Yeah, Jordan, give me a beat.
Yeah, let me grab my kazoo. I have all these violins here.
Oh,
He took out the ambient noise.
yeah. You
Quiet.
can't. 'Cause isn't it you can only hear the first clap?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, weird.
All right. We'll save that for when we are not giddy. That is a great question, though. I'll throw you back onto the bay there, and you can tell me where you are going to go next.
Yeah. Well,
Solus,
okay. Good.
as you
So
catch a wind, Solus looks to you and says, "All right,
we're
that
under
was
the Art
interesting."
Deco map.
Where's my North Star?
Okay, so we're on Poniard.
You are.
Do
The
we
red-
have any? Okay.
So the
before
island
we-
where you grabbed all of the platinum was
Yeah.
up here. Yeah.
that little red dot, yeah.
Yep.
So here's what we're looking back again for Jack Terrigali and
That
Glonda's
is the higher
ship,
plat. Yeah. Here, I'll even do this.
and I feel like that needs to happen before the major plot points start to like. This is the right. Do we agree that we need to find this ship and then perhaps the Grazit stuff unfolds after? I don't know.
It's a good question. I don't know, because like I have no idea how we
Find them.
get Grazit. Like I don't. All I know is
Grazit
that
or
he's-
Terrigali, right? Like they're kind of like we're waiting for them to come to us almost.
Yeah.
I'm just looking at our notes again. So we had the maps that we received, Andrew.
Yes.
Okay, there was that salt marsh with the house. Okay, there's the other map. So the other map that had all the, which I think you've marked out on this map that we see, that has a bunch of islands that have been circled. That was what we think was them searching for the treasure that we eventually found, right?
I will remind you of the circumstances of that map. So this is a map you bought from a sailor named Harlegane.
Yeah.
He got it from... No, you bought it from another sailor whose name I can't remember off the top of my head. But this is a map made by a guy named Harlegane who got killed at an opera that you were going to.
Clarigan.
Yes, that was the other guy. Anyway, the deal with this map was Harlegane made it during his travels with Jack Terrigali. The dates indicate the dates they visited these various islands. On the last one, the October 3rd, he decided he was done. So when they got back to Saltmarsh, he resigned. He left the ship. He had this map with him, and he gave it to Clergan, and then he was untimely assassinated. So the map shows the locations that Jack had been taking the Wyvern.
Okay. So any good detective story, you start, if we're trying to track down, maybe what we need to do is head there to that 1003 island. I don't know if you're all looking at that. And then we could start asking some questions. Is there a settlement on 1003, or is that an uninhabited island?
You know nothing about this area.
And nor does Captain Farstrider.
Farstrider does. He says, well, those islands are all mostly uninhabited.
Okay. What about that big island to the east of the last known location that they were at?
You want to ping that for me, Dan?
Sure. Oh, yeah. Sorry, I'm looking at the... here we go. Yeah, no, here.
So I know what you're talking about.
So, okay, this map looks... So this island is uninhabited?
Yeah, I haven't been there myself, but I've heard about it from others who've been around that area. I mean, there are some population settlements there, but they've been there since before we came around.
And these are all part of the Sea Lord holdings, correct?
Well, they hold claim to the area, but really, you only own an island if you've got the people there that can hold it. Nothing's on Fairwind Isle, to my knowledge.
What about Fairwind Isle?
You just said nothing's on it.
No, the big one below to the south.
Yes. Well, that island. I mean, you're all looking at your chart now. That island there, Fairwind Isle. There's no settlements, no organized settlements.
Okay.
There's no mines. There's no plantations. There might be a cottage by some obscure hermit, but they don't trade out in our way.
That's really out there too. So our choices are: we could either pursue that, or maybe we go to Monmerg.
Well, Monmerg's a bit nicer because it's like on the way back to Saltmarsh.
But that's then figuring that. I mean, okay, so we're Terrigali. We have to assume is somewhere on this map. We're searching for him, and he's somewhere here. He hasn't sailed far north or far east.
And nobody on Ponyard recognized his name.
That's right.
Onmerg has an advantage that we just heard that it was a port for trade.
Yeah.
Salwaras would be quick to tell you that the Flotsam Island has a lot of plantations that grow exotic fruit. There's also one silver mine that does some exports of silver.
That's the place we're leaving.
That's the place we're leaving. All that trade comes through Ponyard. And also a fair number of slaves. So
And then through to Monmerg, right?
That's correct.
So if Jack Terrigali needed to trade something, he would be going to Monmerg, wouldn't he?
He would. Your knowledge is that he always returned to Saltmarsh. So
He hasn't been there for.
So I wonder if something has happened to him out this way then again.
well, you do remember finding one of the launches from the Wyvern with a passenger on board it.
That's the guy we found that's in our hold right now.
That's right.
And that was around here.
Oh
That's
yeah, is
right.
he awake yet?
Yeah, he
Thanks for
must be
that.
now.
You're welcome.
Where did
So-
we find him?
Yeah, let's go talk to him. Maybe he can give us some information. Right? Is he
You've-
awake?
You'll go find it. Yeah, you go and track him down. You found the launch, the ship's boat for the Wyvern, somewhere between Poniard and that nameless island to the south of Jetsam Island.
Okay.
But it also looked like like its passenger, that boat had been beat up a lot. Normally it has a sail, some oars. It had none of that, and it looked like, if you didn't drag it out of the water, it probably would have sunk in short order. Mm-hmm. So you go and check in on your newest passenger. And he's groggily looking up from the bed that you've put him in. And you left him in the tender care of Denise St. Clair. Is that I recall one of the people you... Yeah, so she's looking at you like, oh, you're finally back. Excellent. Yeah, he's awake now.
All right, I'd like to roll intimidation, please.
Give me a roll.
Just kidding.
Zone
of truth. No, just kidding.
You, wake up!
We haven't had a long rest, have we?
No, that's right.
Okay.
You've recovered, young boy.
Is he a young boy?
He's in his early 20s. He's an early 20s human, so he looks up at you and says, Who are you?
We are your saviors, darling.
Oh,
Tell us everything you know starting from the day you were born.
Not that much.
Oh, okay.
You were out in the Wyvern, weren't you?
Yeah. Oh,
what happened?
God. And he gets that look like he's suddenly very tense and frightened. But he says, can't go back there. Can't go back.
What happened?
Can't go back where?
The Wyvern.
Wyverns. They're cursed. It's what they're doing. I don't...
What are they doing, man?
Obviously, I'm not acting well enough, but yeah, he's kind of freaking out a bit. You settle him down, and he says, they were changing. They were growing strange and irrational. I'm just a ship's mate. I don't do anything important. I coil ropes. I tend the sails. But they were going to these weird places, and they'd go on offshore, and they'd go onto the islands with what they were trying to find something. They'd bring their shovels, and they'd come back. They'd all... Taragali got more and more. He just was losing it. I don't know what he was looking for. But he just wouldn't stop. Eventually, he just decided we'd not go back to Saltmarsh, and I couldn't. I just had to get off, so I stole the launch. I thought it was better to take my chances on the waves than with those cursed souls.
Do you know where they're heading next?
They kept on going towards those islands, further and further east. They're probably still going still. If they haven't killed each other. They were at each other's throats before I left.
But you were between Jetsam and Poniard when you got off on your skiff.
No, I left. Well, when I was north, we were going to another island north of Fairwind. But I don't remember much after the first few days. The sails broke in a storm. I was basically paddling with my hands. Ran out of food, ran out of water.
Did anyone say the phrase 10:03?
Or October 3rd?
Is it? What date is it now? It's about nearing the end of November. So he says, is it November now? I have no idea of time.
Do you have Jack Terragali's cell number? Because
I was
you might
thinking
be able
right
to
here.
hack him.
I
and
tried,
track
but he
him.
doesn't pick up. I've tried and tried. No, he would never.
Well, and what's your name?
He says, my name, and I have one for him. My name is Tandia. Tandia Bagayogo.
Tandia.
Bagayogo.
That rolls right off the tongue. Tandia
Sure does.
Bagayoga.
The Bagayogo clan goes back many years on the seas.
Bangaloo. Yogo.
So what do you think, crew?
Well, to be honest, no offense to Glonda, but this is quite a lot. to do for a single ship at this point. I've realized how much money and people we've brought into this just to get a ship that you don't really need.
What do you mean I don't need it?
I mean, you were fine without it beforehand.
No, I mean, you were supposed to get married.
Yes. It was. And you know what? I'm fine without it.
Right. So me being without it would have been if I went along with the marriage. Follow. This is my destiny.
I would like you all to make a wisdom saving throw for me, please.
Oh, not again.
I know, it's like it always happens.
I get a 17 because I'm using my portent.
Excellent.
There we go.
And it's plus, so it's actually a 23.
Holy shit! Every
Get an
roll
18.
of mine tonight has been brutal. I get a 13.
13? Okay. There's a momentary shininess on that water around you. And then it just as quickly as it happened, it's gone.
Is it focused, or is it just the whole sea? Like, is it a point of light that the shininess is coming from?
No, it's like picture all of the water around you suddenly becoming mercury and then instantly phasing back into regular water.
Ew, weird. Slimy.
And nobody seems different.
No.
And
You are still having your discussion, and you are maybe there's a moment of well, I think you were emoting it perfectly. Like you are obviously at cross purposes, but
What about
nothing
the
else
cat? You
happens.
saw it too?
Yeah, he's like, damn strange that. Something must be amiss.
Never seen that before.
Never.
Except
looks-
for last time we all saw that.
Indeed.
Yeah.
And he looks to Nimmerali and says, "You're the scholar. What do you make of that? What is that?"
Well, why don't I do a quick history check of some kind? Would it be Arcana, I guess?
It would definitely be Arcana.
Okay, and Arcana is 18.
So your total is 18?
Mhm.
Cool. You've done a lot of reading about Grezit, and you know that you've heard tell in some of the stories around him that surfaces near him or associated with him often take on a reflective quality. He likes to see his own reflection. And he likes others to see their own reflection.
I believe Grazit is with us, unfortunately.
Well,
And that
but
was
it's
his attempt
passing, right?
to take us over. No, because he's with us prior to the island, he was with us at the island, and he is still with us now.
So you think he's on the ship with us?
I think he's within our minds, yes.
Within our minds.
Well, he's on a different plane, of course. He is a demon, after all.
Right.
So
you don't think he's on our plane yet?
We're
he
on
is
a
able
boat.
to interact with us on our plane.
Yeah.
Now, I can send my
That's cheating.
familiar into a different plane, if I remember correctly.
Not sure if that's true.
Well, I'll leave it for now, then.
Sure.
Yeah, we're coming up on 9:30. We're gonna have to
Well, can we
Something-
before we go? Can
do
we
something right in the next 5 minutes.
can we determine a direction that we're going in?
Yeah.
I think that would be an excellent decision to make.
Before we do that, I just want to pull Tergar aside. Can I have a little aside with Tergar?
Absolutely.
Hey man, do you think that like this is a lot
What do you
and I
mean?
should like is this too much for a boat and an avenging of my father figure?
You
Like, would you rather just go back to Orlane and live normal?
no.
Cause Nima said this is too much.
Well, I think she makes a point. I think she's worried about maybe grander things. At the same time, this is important to you, and you have to listen to your own heart and mind.
I just don't want to be a burden on anyone.
Well, what does this ship, if you were to get the Wyvern, you know the Wyvern, I don't know the Wyvern. I don't really like being on boats, to be quite honest with you. What would the Wyvern give us if you had it under your command?
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. One, I would avenge, Azkaban.
Mm-hmm.
And I would finally, counter everything that everyone told me I would never be able to do, which is captain a ship as a dwarf. I must go into some sort of world record book for that. Even if I'm not on the ship all the time and I'm following you guys and running around, I could still hire a captain to captain my ship and make a lot of income from it and always have some. Do you know what I mean?
I do know what you mean.
Good.
And let me tell you something. What drives me is to right the
come
wrongs of the world. And if that ship allows us to do that a little bit more, then I say we go get your ship.
Okay, thank you. I was starting to doubt myself. Okay, come on, gang. Let's decide the direction we want to go in.
Shall
Well,
we
I
go
had
east?
Petrie hanging by your ropes, and I heard the whole thing, and I did not mean to make you feel like I don't care about you. This whole Grazit thing has me quite in a tizzy, and I don't mean to show that I don't love you. And yes, if we shall continue on the Wyvern, we'll get on hot on its
Nimmerillion,
trail. Just be
you
aware
are-
that there's a demon trying to steal our minds.
Shall we go as far
Nima,
as we
you are
can?
our moral barometer. Never apologize for any of the insights you provide us, your family. Yes.
All right, then let us go east to try to find the Wyvern.
Hey, maybe we'll find Grazit along the way.
Hey! Dun-dun-dun-dun-dun.
Well, the boat sails onward.
We're going to 10:03, is that right?
That is a great question. Where Salwa says, well, that was very encouraging, all that. So where do you want to be headed then?
So he said that the Tandia said that he was
North of Fairwind Island. So
he was
south-
north of Fairwind. Okay, yeah.
If you show him a map, he says that they were heading away from 1003 when he jumped ship in the middle of the night.
Or he was
Okay,
leaving
so maybe-
1003.
So maybe Fairwind then?
Or Cyber. We could go to Cyber
Or
because that's a little
Cyber.
port.
Oh, that's the Cyber Isle? Oh, yeah, that would make sense maybe to head to Cyber first. And then if we need to go northeast around, that would probably...
Right,
would make
because
sense.
Cyber is an actual location. We can stop there.
Yeah, let's
Yeah.
due east.
We can give the crew that didn't get to go on shore a chance to go on shore.
How is Cyber as a location for some solitude and shore leave?
And Salwa says, Cyber, well, it's a middling little community. They're trying to make something of it, but
Perfect. That's where
Perfect.
we'll go.
There we
That's
go.
That's excellent. Let's go.
there's like one brothel there. I mean, it's not amazing.
Oh, God. Fire Strider. Folks, I do need to say this, that everything that has transpired, I am worried. I feel like my dreams and the dreams of others are starting to come to fruition. And as we venture forth, I think we need to keep our eyes wide open, whether we're awake or dreaming.
Agreed. I will meditate deeply on this.
And with that, the camera pans back as the ship sails eastward, and in the distance, a storm is brewing and lightning is flashing underneath it.
Oh, pathetic fallacy.
Ooh.
And that, dear friends, is where we will leave it for today. It'll be a couple weeks, I think, before we're back again, but I'm sure we're all looking forward to seeing you again soon. Anybody got any parting shots before we sign off for the night?
Just a plug for Ponderosa again. Just remember, we've got a all-you-can-eat salad bar.
I heard they're doing it better, a great deal better.
I couldn't have said it better.
Right. Good night, everybody. We'll see you again soon.
Doing it better, a
And
great deal better.